The Galactic Empire shit its pants when Raymond Shaw revealed Earth had vast oceans of water. Commander Galen and his Lieutenant Toran had expected an easy conquest as their ship orbited the supposedly primitive world with its fossil fuels and disorganized governments. Their goals were simple: subjugate the humans like so many other species before them and strip the planet of anything useful. Galen scoffed at Earth's potential. "Look at this backwater, Toran. Barely any infrastructure, no unified leadership, still relying on crude oil and gas. What could these savages offer the Empire?" Toran replied eagerly, "Our scans show rich mineral deposits, Commander. The planet's biodiversity could also provide valuable genetic material for the bioengineering division." "Nothing we can't get on 100 other empty rocks." Galen waved his hand dismissively. "It's not worth the bother of invading such a primitive species." Suddenly a transmission from the surface cut into their exchange. The view screen showed a human male, his demeanor calm and confident. "Greetings, visitors from the stars. I am Raymond Shaw, speaking for the United Nations of Earth. We've noted your arrival and wish to open a dialogue between our peoples." The two Jem'Hadar looked at each other in shock. They hadn't expected the natives to even detect their ship, let alone send a coherent message. Galen gathered himself and replied, "This is Commander Galen of the Galactic Empire. What do you want to discuss?" Raymond smiled slightly. "I think trade and cultural ties would benefit both our civilizations, but I must ask, why have you come to our world?" The commander paused, then decided there was no point in deception. "We're here to evaluate your planet's resources and suitability for assimilation into the Empire." Raymond chuckled, making Galen's neck ridges twitch in irritation. "Well, Commander, Earth has much to offer beyond mere physical resources. For instance, are you aware that over 70% of our world's surface is liquid water?" Galen and Toran both snapped forward in their seats, mandibles agape. Water, the most precious substance in the galaxy. Many worlds had some, but few had it in large quantities. And this Earth apparently had it everywhere. It would be an unimaginable prize for the Empire. The human continued. "Yes, vast oceans teeming with life, plus rivers, lakes, aquifers, and that's only the start of what we can bring to the table. I suggest an in-person meeting to discuss matters further." Galen nodded slowly, mind whirling at the implications. "Agreed, send us the coordinates and we'll dispatch a shuttle." As the screen went blank, the commander turned to his subordinate. "It appears we underestimated these humans, Toran. Not only do they have abundant water, this Raymond Shaw had the wits to use it as leverage. We need to handle this species very carefully indeed." The two began preparations for the historic first contact, not realizing the encounter would overturn everything they thought they knew about their place in the universe. The Galactic Empire was in for a big surprise, and it all started with 3 little words. Earth had water. As the shuttle touched down on the soft grass, Commander Galen and Lieutenant Toran stepped out, their boots sinking slightly into the moist earth. Raymond Shaw stood before them, flanked by a small group of humans, their expressions a mix of curiosity and caution. Galen surveyed the surroundings, taking in the vibrant greenery and the sound of water trickling nearby. He had to admit, the planet was verdant and alive in a way many worlds were not. Toran nudged him, pointing to a clear stream winding its way through the landscape. "I must concede, your world does seem to have an abundance of water," Galen said, turning to Raymond. "But I'm curious, how do you propose we establish trade between our civilizations? What can Earth offer the Galactic Empire in return for our technology and protection?" Raymond simply smiled, a glint in his eye. "Come with me, Commander. There's something I'd like to show you." He gestured for the Jem'Hadar to follow as he led them towards the nearby river. As they approached, Galen noticed a group of humans gathered around a strange device. It was small and compact, almost unassuming, but when one of the humans placed it in the water, it began to emit a soft glow and a gentle hum. "This, Commander Galen, is a water purification device created by some of our brightest minds," Raymond explained. It has the capability to purify even the most contaminated water sources, rendering them safe for consumption. Galen and Toran exchanged a meaningful glance, both clearly impressed by the ingenuity on display. Toran leaned in close to Galen, whispering, "Commander, if this technology works as they claim, it could revolutionize water management on our colony worlds." Galen nodded, then turned back to Raymond. "While impressive, surely you realize the Empire has access to advanced water purification technology as well." "Ah, but at what cost?" Raymond countered. "This device is not only highly effective, but also energy efficient and easily mass-produced. We believe that this technology, paired with Earth's vast water resources, could serve as the foundation for a mutually beneficial trade agreement between our worlds." Galen paused, considering the proposal. These humans were more than just resourceful. They were shrewd negotiators as well. "You make a compelling argument, Raymond Shaw. It seems there is more to your species than meets the eye." Raymond's smile widened. "We are a diverse and adaptable people, Commander. We've overcome great challenges on our path to unity and progress. We believe we have much to contribute to the galaxy, beyond simple resources." "Very well," Galen said, his interest piqued. "Let us continue our discussions and explore the potential of this partnership between Earth and the Empire." As the two groups continued to talk, Toran couldn't help but marvel at the unexpected turn of events. "To think, Commander, that a species we considered primitive could possess such valuable knowledge and technology. It appears we have much to learn from the humans." "Indeed, Lieutenant," Galen replied thoughtfully. "This encounter has taught me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the potential of any species, regardless of how young or undeveloped they may seem. The humans have surprised us, and I suspect they will continue to do so as we further our understanding of their world and their ways." As the sleek transport shuttle carried them towards the coastal metropolis, Raymond regaled his alien guests with stories of humanity's long and winding path. "You see, Commander Galen, our species has faced many trials over the millennia. War, famine, disease, environmental destruction. At times it seemed we were destined to be our own undoing. But in each crisis, we found the will to adapt, to innovate, to rise above our baser instincts and work together for the common good." Galen leaned forward, his interest clearly piqued. "Your people have indeed shown remarkable resilience, Mr. Shaw. But I must ask, how did you achieve such progress with technology that, forgive me, seems rather limited compared to other spacefaring races we have encountered?" Raymond chuckled good-naturedly. "Necessity is the mother of invention, as they say. Our planet's resources, while vast, are not infinite. We learned early on that we needed to be clever and efficient in how we used what we had. That drove us to develop advanced recycling systems, renewable energy, and yes, water purification and management on a massive scale." As if on cue, the shuttle descended towards a sprawling industrial complex nestled against the sparkling sea. Towering pipelines and gleaming storage tanks stretched out before them. "Welcome to one of our largest desalination plants," Raymond said proudly as they disembarked. "Facilities like this provide fresh water for millions of people in the region." Toran's eyes widened as he took in the scale of the operation. "Incredible. You're able to convert seawater into potable water at this volume? We have similar technology, but nothing approaching this scale planet-side." Raymond nodded. "It took decades of research and refinement, but we can now remove salt and impurities very efficiently, making the water safe for drinking and irrigation. Combined with our conservation and recycling initiatives, it's helped us achieve water security even in the face of rising global temperatures and population growth." As they toured the facility, Galen and Toran peppered their guide with questions, fascinated by the ingenuity on display. Raymond introduced them to the lead engineers and scientists, who eagerly shared details of their work in filtration, purification, and distribution. "The level of expertise here is truly impressive," Galen remarked after a spirited discussion of reverse osmosis techniques. "I must admit, I came to your world expecting a primitive species scrabbling in the dirt. But this, he gestured expansively, this speaks to a deep understanding of your planet's systems and how to harness them sustainably. It's the mark of a mature civilization. Raymond smiled, a hint of pride in his eyes. For us, it comes down to a simple truth, Commander. Water is life. It's the cornerstone of our world, and we have a sacred duty to protect and manage it wisely. Everything else flows from that, if you'll forgive the pun. As the visit wound down, Galen found himself reflecting on all he had seen and heard. He turned to Toran as they boarded the shuttle once more. It seems we have much to learn from the humans, Lieutenant. Not just their water technology, but their whole approach. The way they've faced adversity and environmental challenges, the way they've turned limitations into inspiration. It's remarkable. Toran nodded slowly. I agree, sir. We came here thinking we would be the ones doing the teaching, but now I see our own society could benefit from adopting some of their attitudes and strategies, their connection to their world, their drive to create elegant solutions. It's unlike anything I've seen before. Galen was silent for a long moment, staring pensively out the window as the blue-green planet rolled by below. Perhaps this is an opportunity, Toran, a chance for the Empire to grow, not through conquest as we always have, but through cooperation and exchange. These humans have so much to offer, if we have the wisdom to listen. The lieutenant looked at his commander with something like surprise, and then dawning respect. That would be a new path for us, sir. But maybe, as you say, it's time for a new way forward. If any species can help show us that way, I believe it might just be the humans. Raymond, seated across from them, met Galen's gaze with a warm smile. I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship, Commander. Your people and mine, we're different in so many ways, but at our core, we're more alike than we realize. We all want to thrive, to learn, to become better than we were. That's a powerful basis for an alliance, and I truly believe, together, we can accomplish incredible things. Galen reached out and clasped the human's hand, sealing the unspoken pact. The Empire would never be the same, and if he was honest with himself, neither would he. Earth had water, yes, and so much more. It had the power to reshape destinies, and as he saw it, the future had never looked brighter. The metallic corridors of the Jem'Hadar ship echoed with the footsteps of Commander Galen and Lieutenant Toran as they walked briskly toward their private quarters. The weight of their recent encounter with the humans hung heavy in the recycled air, mingling with the hum of the ship's engines. As the doors slid shut behind them, Galen turned to Toran, his brow furrowed in contemplation. The humans, Toran, they have managed to achieve something truly remarkable. The way they have harnessed their water resources without disrupting the delicate balance of their ecosystems, it's a testament to their ingenuity and foresight. Toran nodded in agreement, his eyes alight with newfound respect for the inhabitants of Earth. Indeed, Commander, their methods are not only sustainable but also highly efficient. It makes one wonder if our own empire could learn a thing or two from their approach to resource management. Before Galen could respond, the sharp chime of an incoming transmission cut through the room. The two officers exchanged a glance, their postures straightening as they turned to face the flickering holographic display. The imposing figure of the Emperor himself materialized before them, his presence seeming to fill the entire space. Commander Galen, the Emperor's voice boomed, I have reviewed your report on the Earth's water resources. This discovery is of the utmost importance to the Empire. You are to secure exclusive rights to this water and the humans' management technologies by any means necessary. Galen felt a knot form in his stomach, the Emperor's words sitting uneasily with the newfound respect he had developed for the humans. Your Majesty, he began carefully, the humans have expressed a desire for a mutually beneficial partnership. Perhaps we could negotiate a trade agreement, allowing us access to their water and technology in exchange for our own resources and knowledge. The Emperor's eyes narrowed, his holographic form shimmering with barely contained rage. Negotiate, with primitives. Commander, you forget your place. The Empire takes what it needs. We do not bargain with lesser species. Toran, sensing the growing tension, stepped forward. Your Majesty, if I may, The humans have demonstrated a level of adaptability and innovation that could prove valuable to the Empire. A more cooperative approach could yield greater long-term benefits. With that, the transmission abruptly ended, plunging the room into a heavy silence. Galen and Toran stood motionless, the weight of the Emperor's ultimatum pressing down upon them. Toran, his own face etched with concern, replied, "I agree, Commander, but what choice do we have? Defying the Emperor's orders would bring his wrath upon us and our families." Galen paused, his gaze distant as he grappled with the moral dilemma before them. There must be another way, Toran, a way to satisfy the Emperor's demands without resorting to violence or coercion. Toran's eyes widened, a glimmer of hope sparking within them. What if we could convince the Emperor of the value of a partnership with the humans? If we can demonstrate that cooperation would yield greater benefits for the Empire in the long run, perhaps he would reconsider his stance. A thoughtful nod from Galen. It's a risky proposition, but it may be our only hope of avoiding a conflict that could destroy both our civilizations. As the two officers began to formulate a plan, the weight of their task settled upon their shoulders. The fate of Earth and the Galactic Empire now rested in their hands, the outcome dependent on their ability to navigate the treacherous waters of politics, diplomacy, and moral obligation that stretched out before them. As the Emperor's ultimatum loomed over them like a dark cloud, Commander Galen knew he had to act fast. He reached out to Raymond Shaw, the human who had already shown such wisdom and foresight, requesting an urgent meeting to discuss the dire situation at hand. Raymond, his voice steady despite the gravity of the moment, agreed without hesitation. "Of course, Commander. Let's meet at the secure facility near the desalination plant. We can speak freely there." Galen and Toran wasted no time, making their way to the designated location with haste. As they entered the room, Raymond greeted them with a solemn nod, his eyes reflecting the weight of the crisis they now faced. Galen spoke first, his words direct and unvarnished. "Raymond, the Emperor has issued an order. He demands that we secure exclusive rights to Earth's water resources and technologies by any means necessary. He believes negotiation is beneath the Empire, that we should simply take what we need." Raymond absorbed the news, his brow furrowed in concern. He took a measured breath before responding. "Commander, I understand the pressure you're under, but surely you must see that such an approach would only lead to conflict and suffering on both sides. There must be another way." Galen nodded, his own concerns mirroring those of the human. "I agree, Raymond. That's why we've come to you. We need to find a way to convince the Emperor that a partnership with Earth would be far more beneficial than a forceful takeover." Toran interjected, his mind already working on a potential solution. "What if we could demonstrate to the Emperor the true value of your water management technologies? Not just the resources themselves, but the knowledge and expertise that comes with them." Raymond's eyes lit up, catching on to Toran's line of thinking. "Yes, if we could show the Emperor how these technologies could be adapted for your own worlds, it could prove that a partnership would yield far greater benefits than a short-sighted conquest." Galen leaned forward, his interest piqued. "What do you propose, Raymond?" The human explained, his words measured but filled with conviction. "We could arrange a demonstration of our most advanced water management systems. We'll showcase their efficiency, scalability, and potential for adaptation to different planetary conditions. If the Emperor could see firsthand how our technologies could transform the Empire's water infrastructure, he might be more open to a cooperative approach." Galen felt a glimmer of hope, a path forward emerging from the darkness. "It's a good plan, Raymond, but we must act quickly. The Emperor is not known for his patience, and any delay could be seen as defiance." Raymond nodded, his resolve unwavering. "I understand, Commander. I'll gather our top scientists and engineers to prepare a comprehensive demonstration. We'll show the Emperor that a partnership with Earth isn't just about acquiring resources, but gaining access to a wealth of knowledge and innovation that could propel the Empire to new heights." As the meeting drew to a close, Galen and Toran exchanged a look of determination. They knew the fate of two civilizations now hung in the balance, the future dependent on their ability to bridge the gap between their worlds. They vowed to do everything in their power to make the Emperor see reason, to understand that cooperation, not conquest, was the path to true greatness. The demonstration would be their last, best hope, a chance to change the course of history and forge a new era of understanding between the stars. The pieces were in motion, the stage set for a pivotal moment that would decide the destiny of Earth and the Empire alike. Galen and Toran left the meeting with renewed purpose, their hearts heavy with the weight of the task before them, but their spirits buoyed by the indomitable will of the humans they had come to respect and admire. As the sleek transport shuttle glided through the verdant canopy, Galen and Toran marveled at the lush rainforest sprawling beneath them. Raymond's words echoed in their minds, hinting at the groundbreaking discoveries awaiting them at the remote research facility. The shuttle touched down on a small landing pad, nestled amidst the towering trees. As the doors slid open, the Jem'Hadar officers stepped out, their senses immediately assaulted by the rich scents and sounds of the vibrant ecosystem surrounding them. Raymond greeted them with a warm smile, gesturing towards the facility. "Welcome, Commander Galen, Lieutenant Toran. This is where some of Earth's most brilliant minds are unraveling the secrets of our planet's most delicate aquatic environments." As they entered the main building, the officers were struck by the state-of-the-art equipment and the buzz of scientific activity. Researchers hunched over microscopes, analyzing samples, while others pored over complex data sets displayed on holographic screens. Raymond led them to a large observation deck, overlooking a series of interconnected tanks and pools. "Here we study the intricate relationships between different aquatic species and their habitats. Our findings have revolutionized our understanding of water's role in sustaining life." A woman in a white lab coat approached, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Commander Galen, Lieutenant Toran, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Dr. Lena Patel, lead researcher on ecosystem dynamics." Galen nodded in greeting. "Dr. Patel, your work here is most impressive. How have your discoveries influenced Earth's water management practices?" Lena smiled. "By studying these delicate ecosystems, we've learned that balance and interconnectedness are key. Every species, no matter how small, plays a vital role in maintaining the health of the entire system." She led them to a large holographic display, showing a complex web of relationships between various aquatic organisms. This understanding has led us to develop more holistic approaches to water management. Rather than simply focusing on extraction and distribution, we prioritize the resilience and well-being of the entire water cycle. Toran, fascinated by the concept, inquired, "Could these principles be applied to other worlds with different aquatic conditions?" Raymond nodded enthusiastically. "Absolutely, Lieutenant. The fundamental principles of ecosystem balance and sustainability are universal. With the right adaptations, these approaches could be tailored to any planet's unique environment." As the tour continued, the Jem'Hadar were introduced to an array of advanced water monitoring technologies. Sensors and AI systems tracked water quality, flow patterns, and biodiversity in real time, allowing for rapid detection and response to any changes in the aquatic ecosystems. Galen, impressed by the precision and sophistication of the technology, remarked, "This level of responsiveness is unheard of in the Empire's water management systems. The potential applications are vast." Raymond seized the opportunity. "Imagine the possibilities, Commander. If we could combine the Empire's advanced infrastructure with Earth's ecosystem-based approach and monitoring technologies, it could revolutionize water management across the galaxy, ensuring the sustainability and prosperity of countless worlds." As the visit drew to a close, Galen and Toran found themselves deeply moved by the depth and complexity of Earth's water expertise. They realized that the true value of a partnership with Earth lay not merely in the acquisition of resources, but in the sharing of knowledge, innovation, and a shared commitment to the responsible stewardship of life's most precious gift. With renewed determination, they set their sights on the upcoming demonstration, knowing that the fate of two civilizations and the future of water in the galaxy hung in the balance. As the sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the sacred spring in a warm golden glow, Raymond, Galen, and Toran sat cross-legged at the water's edge. The gentle lapping of the water against the shore and the distant calls of birds created a serene atmosphere, a stark contrast to the weight of the task that lay before them. Raymond reached into a woven satchel and retrieved 3 small earthen cups. Dipping each one into the clear, cool water, he handed them to his companions. In many of our cultures, sharing water from a sacred source is a way to forge a bond, to connect with each other and with the essence of life itself. Galen and Toran accepted the cups, their eyes flickering with curiosity and a newfound respect for the human's traditions. They sipped the water slowly, savoring its purity and the sense of reverence that seemed to emanate from the spring itself. "Tell me more about this concept of water diplomacy," Galen said, his voice low and thoughtful. "How has it helped your people overcome conflicts and foster cooperation?" Raymond smiled, his eyes taking on a distant, reflective look. There was a time, not so long ago, when 2 nations on our planet were locked in a bitter dispute over a shared river system. Both sides claimed the water as their own, and tensions were rising to dangerous levels. He paused, taking another sip from his cup. Instead of resorting to violence or coercion, the leaders of both nations agreed to meet at the river itself, to discuss their grievances and search for common ground. As they sat by the water, listening to each other's stories and concerns, they began to see the river not as a source of division, but as a shared heritage, a lifeblood that connected their peoples. Toran leaned forward, his interest piqued. And they were able to resolve their differences, just by talking and listening? Not immediately, Raymond conceded, but that meeting marked the beginning of a long, difficult, but ultimately rewarding process of negotiation and compromise. By focusing on their shared stake in the river's health and sustainability, they were able to find mutually beneficial solutions, ones that ensured fair access to the water while also protecting its ecological integrity. Galen nodded slowly, his brow furrowed in thought. It's a powerful example of how a shift in perspective can change everything. By seeing water as a connector rather than a divider, your people were able to transform a source of conflict into a catalyst for cooperation. Exactly, Raymond said, his voice filled with conviction. And I believe the same principle could be applied on a galactic scale. If we can help the Emperor see water not just as a resource to be exploited, but as a common bond that unites all life, it could open up new possibilities for collaboration and peaceful coexistence between our civilizations. Raymond clapped his hands together, his face breaking into a wide grin. Now you're getting it. By weaving together the technological, ecological, and diplomatic dimensions of water, we can create a compelling vision for a new kind of relationship between the Empire and the rest of the galaxy. As the 3 of them continued to talk late into the night, the sacred spring seemed to take on a new significance, becoming a symbol of the unity and shared purpose that they hoped to achieve. With each passing moment, their resolve grew stronger, their sense of mission clearer. When the first light of dawn began to paint the sky in shades of pink and gold, they rose to their feet, ready to face the challenges ahead. The demonstration that had once seemed like a daunting task now felt like an opportunity, a chance to plant the seeds of a new era of galactic cooperation, with water as the catalyst for change. As they made their way back to the city, their steps filled with purpose and determination, Galen turned to Raymond, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "You know, when we first came to your world, I never could have imagined that a simple compound like water could hold such profound meaning and power." Raymond chuckled, placing a hand on the commander's shoulder. "That's the thing about water, my friend. It has a way of surprising us, of revealing depths and possibilities we never knew existed. And I have a feeling that our journey together is just beginning." The council chamber buzzed with a cacophony of voices as the Emperor's advisors debated the merits of the proposed partnership. Admiral Zahn and his allies argued vehemently for the original plan of conquest, insisting that the Empire's military might was more than sufficient to secure Earth's water resources by force. But Raymond Shaw's calm, measured responses gave them pause. He spoke of the untapped potential of human ingenuity, of the countless innovations that could arise from a collaborative relationship. "Imagine," he said, his voice steady, "a galaxy where every world has access to clean, abundant water, where the Empire is not just feared, but respected and admired as a leader in sustainable resource management." Galen nodded in agreement, his posture tall and proud as he addressed the Council. "In all my years of service, I have never encountered a species with such a deep understanding of their planet's ecosystems. By working hand in hand with Earth's scientists, we could revolutionize the way we manage not just water, but all our natural resources." Tauren, his eyes alight with conviction, stepped forward to deliver his final appeal. "Your Majesty, I have seen firsthand the power of water diplomacy. On Earth, nations that once fought bitterly over rivers and aquifers now cooperate to ensure the fair and sustainable use of these precious resources. Imagine what we could achieve by applying these principles on a galactic scale." As the council members murmured amongst themselves, the Emperor leaned forward on his throne, his gaze intense and searching. For a long moment, he studied the three figures before him, the human diplomat, the Jem'Hadar commander, and the young lieutenant who had dared to question the Empire's way of thinking. "You have given me much to consider," the Emperor said at last, his voice low and thoughtful. "The Empire has always prided itself on its strength and dominance, but perhaps in this new era, true strength lies in the ability to forge alliances, to learn from those who were once our adversaries." He rose to his feet, his robes rustling softly in the hushed chamber. "I will need time to deliberate with my council, but know this, your words have not fallen on deaf ears. The Empire will give your proposal the consideration it deserves." With that, the Emperor swept from the room, his advisers trailing in his wake. Raymond, Galen, and Tauren exchanged glances, their hearts racing with a mix of hope and trepidation. They had made their case, laid bare the potential for a new kind of galactic order. Now the fate of two worlds hung in the balance, dependent on the wisdom and foresight of a single Jem'Hadar ruler. As they stepped out into the corridor, Raymond placed a hand on Galen's shoulder. "Whatever happens," he said softly, "I am grateful for your openness, your willingness to see beyond the Empire's traditional ways. You have given Earth a chance, and that is no small thing." Galen met his gaze, his eyes filled with a newfound respect for the human before him. "It is I who should be grateful," he replied, "for the opportunity to learn from your people, to see the galaxy through a different lens. Whatever the Emperor decides, know that you have made a lasting impact on the Empire and on me." With those words, the three unlikely allies parted ways, each lost in their own thoughts as they awaited the Emperor's decision. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The seeds of change had been planted, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Emperor's decree echoed through the council chamber, a turning point in the course of galactic history. Commander Galen and Lieutenant Tauren stood tall, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and resolute determination. Raymond Shaw, the human ambassador, nodded in agreement, his eyes shining with the promise of a brighter future. Admiral Zahn, though visibly displeased with the Emperor's decision, bowed his head in acquiescence. "As you command, Your Majesty, we shall closely monitor this trial partnership to ensure the Empire's interests are safeguarded." The Emperor turned his gaze to Galen, Tauren, and Raymond. "You three shall form the core of this collaborative effort. Assemble your teams and prepare for departure to Zorix Prime. Keep the Council apprised of your progress and any challenges you may face." "Yes, Your Majesty," the trio responded in unison, their voices ringing with conviction. As the council members began to disperse, Raymond approached Galen and Tauren, a smile playing on his lips. "Well, gentlemen, it seems we have our work cut out for us. Zorix Prime won't know what hit it." Galen chuckled, clasping Raymond's shoulder. "Indeed, my friend. With Earth's ingenuity and the Empire's resources, I have no doubt we shall succeed in restoring the planet's water systems." Tauren, ever the pragmatist, interjected, "We must not underestimate the challenges ahead. Zorix Prime's issues are complex and deeply rooted. It will take more than just technology to bring about lasting change. Raymond nodded, his expression thoughtful. You're right, Toran. We must also address the social and cultural factors that have contributed to the planet's water crisis. It will require a holistic approach, one that engages the local population and fosters a sense of stewardship over their natural resources. As the three leaders exited the council chamber, their minds buzzed with plans and possibilities. They knew that the road ahead would be fraught with obstacles and uncertainties, but they were united in their commitment to forging a new path forward, one that harnessed the power of collaboration and the wisdom of water. In the days that followed, Galen, Toran and Raymond worked tirelessly to assemble their team and prepare for the mission to Zorix Prime. They handpicked experts from both Earth and the Empire, each bringing their unique skills and perspectives to the table. Hydrologists, ecologists, engineers and social scientists came together, united by a common purpose and a shared vision of a galaxy where water flowed freely and sustainably for all. As the team gathered for their first briefing, Galen looked out at the faces before him, a sense of pride and purpose swelling in his chest. Welcome, everyone. You have been chosen for this mission because of your expertise and your commitment to the cause of water stewardship. Together, we will show the galaxy what can be achieved when two worlds, once divided by mistrust and misunderstanding, come together in the spirit of cooperation and progress. Raymond stepped forward, his voice ringing with conviction. Our task on Zorix Prime will not be easy, but it is essential. The planet's water crisis is a microcosm of the challenges faced by countless worlds across the galaxy. By demonstrating the effectiveness of our combined efforts, we can inspire others to follow in our footsteps and create a ripple effect of positive change. Toran, his gaze steady and determined, added, We must approach this mission with humility and respect for the people of Zorix Prime. They are not mere recipients of our aid, but partners in the process of restoration and renewal. We must listen to their stories, learn from their experiences, and work hand in hand to build a sustainable future for their world. As the team delved into the details of their mission, a sense of excitement and purpose filled the room. They pored over maps and data, discussing strategies and technologies that could be deployed to address Zorix Prime's water challenges. From advanced filtration systems to ecosystem restoration techniques, no stone was left unturned in the quest for solutions. In the midst of the planning and preparation, Galen and Toran found themselves marveling at the dedication and ingenuity of their human colleagues. The depth of their knowledge and the breadth of their experience were truly remarkable, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of their species. As the day of departure drew near, the team gathered for a final briefing, their faces a mix of anticipation and resolve. Galen, his voice filled with quiet conviction, addressed the assembled group. My friends, the journey we are about to embark upon is not just about restoring the water systems of a single planet. It is about sowing the seeds of hope and cooperation in a galaxy that has for too long been divided by conflict and mistrust. It is about showing that when we work together, guided by the wisdom of water, there is no challenge we cannot overcome. With those words ringing in their ears, the team boarded their transport ship, ready to begin the next chapter in the story of Earth and the Galactic Empire's unlikely partnership. As the ship lifted off, carrying them towards the distant world of Zorix Prime, they knew that they were not just embarking on a mission, but on a journey of discovery and transformation that would change the course of the galaxy forever. As the sleek transport glided through the bustling skyways of the Earth City, Galen and Toran gazed out at the gleaming towers and verdant parks that stretched out before them. The Jem'Hadar officers had grown accustomed to the sights and sounds of human civilization over the course of their partnership, but the vibrant energy of this metropolis never failed to impress. The transport docked at a towering skyscraper, its glass facade reflecting the brilliant blue of the Earth sky. Raymond greeted them in the lobby, his smile warm but tinged with a hint of weariness. The months of intense collaboration and negotiation had taken their toll on the human diplomat. but his eyes still sparkled with the same determination and vision that had first brought their worlds together. As they rode the elevator to Raymond's office, Toran broke the companionable silence. I must admit, I had my doubts about the feasibility of our mission on Zorix Prime. The challenges seemed insurmountable at times. Raymond nodded, his gaze distant as he recalled the long hours and hard-fought battles of the past months. There were moments when I feared we might not succeed. The ecological degradation, the political resistance, the sheer scale of the task at hand. But in the end, the strength of our partnership and the ingenuity of our combined efforts won out. The elevator doors slid open, revealing a spacious office with floor-to-ceiling windows that offered a breathtaking view of the city below. As they settled into the plush chairs around Raymond's desk, Galen leaned forward, his voice filled with a mix of pride and awe. Raymond, the results from Zorix Prime have been nothing short of remarkable. The planet's water systems are recovering at an astonishing rate, and the local population is thriving. Raymond smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. It's a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of both our species. I believe this partnership has the potential to transform not just Zorix Prime, but countless other worlds across the galaxy. Toran, however, looked pensive, his brow furrowed as he considered the broader implications of their success. But what of the Emperor's original concerns about the risks of partnering with Earth? Have we truly addressed those fears? Raymond's expression turned serious, the weight of the question settling on his shoulders. I think we have demonstrated the value and integrity of our intentions through our actions on Zorix Prime. But you're right, Toran. Trust is not built overnight, and there will always be those who harbor doubts. Galen nodded in agreement, his own thoughts turning to the challenges they faced back home. And what of our own people, Raymond? How have they reacted to this partnership with the Empire, given our history of conflict and conquest? Raymond sighed, his fingers drumming on the polished surface of his desk. I won't lie, Galen. There has been resistance and skepticism among some factions on Earth. They fear that by sharing our water technologies and knowledge, we may be empowering a potential adversary. Toran, his brow furrowed, asked the question that hung heavy in the air. So where do we go from here? How do we balance the promise of this partnership with the risks and doubts on both sides? Raymond leaned back in his chair, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon. We keep pushing forward one planet, one project at a time. We build trust through action and results, not just words. And we remain vigilant, always seeking to understand and address the concerns of our respective peoples. Galen, his voice tinged with both hope and uncertainty, concluded, Then let us return to the Emperor with the news of Zorix Prime's success and propose the next step in our partnership. But let us also be prepared for the challenges and resistance that may lie ahead. As the meeting drew to a close, Raymond, Galen, and Toran rose from their seats, their handshakes firm and their eyes locked in a shared understanding. They knew that the path they had chosen was fraught with difficulty and danger, but they also knew that the potential rewards, a galaxy united by the wisdom of water and the power of cooperation, were worth the risk. As they parted ways, each to their own world and their own struggles, they carried with them the memory of Zorix Prime, and the hope of a future where Earth and the Galactic Empire, two civilizations once divided by mistrust and misunderstanding, might one day stand together as partners in the great dance of life and water that connected all things. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.